Okay, Impact Wrestling. If my voice sounds like it's cracking, it's mainly due to the humidity in New York. I mean, it's over 90% right now. Literally. Humidity is, I think, 95%. And it has not gone down for maybe at least a day or two already. And it's expected to continue. So if I do any more... if I do any more videos and you hear my voice crack, no, I'm not going through puberty. It's the humidity. It's really bad and it's messing with my throat. I am fine. What else was fine, as you see from this title of this Slammiversary, guys, the unthinkable happened. Impact Wrestling decided to break away from being WWE Light, really enough, and try something different. They decided to make almost every person a champion except for one, but that's only due to the fact of the ending of the show. The majority of the show was fine. Camera work had its moments, it was spotty, but it was fine. Lighting was perfectly fine. Audio, I'm going to be honest here, audio was not that good for the fans. Unless they just were not that enthusiastic, which I do not believe. There were moments where the audio seems to just clip. In other words, started getting low. So, my guess is they were having audio problems. But if you take that away from it, this is one of the better Slammiversary I've seen in maybe 5 years. I'm not saying it's perfect, but due to the fact of how they booked it, you don't usually see them like this. Okay, let's go to the kickoff. Death Dolls and Jody Threat went against the crew of Gazelle Shaw and her minions. Let's make it like that. I don't know why they did this match, but it wasn't a bad match. She did get the Death Dolls on TV. Jody Threat is now working with two women that kind of suits the persona she's going with right now. I still don't believe Jody Threat should be what she is. She should be a heel, but she's a face, and putting her with Death Dolls will be the wisest thing to do. And I'm not surprised they won. I'm not. Here's a match. Afterward, I knew had to end in a certain way. Because I wanted it, and I'm going to make this clear. This match, it ended the way it was supposed to, and it was the right decision, but I am angry. You know why? What do we have here? We have Kenny versus Joe. Joe Henley for the Digital Media Championship. I would rather seen Dirty Dango actually get the title because his persona was already developed and he needed it. Kenny also needed it. But, and I gotta make it clear, due to the fact of them working with Santino, I wanted badly for this to be about Santino, Dirty Dango, and the Digital Media Championship. But this is what we got right now. This is how it's set up. And seeing that Tripper Kenny was really becoming popular, they went with it. So they did the regular match was so-so. Let's make this clear. Seeing Joe Henley in a bow tie like he's a Chippendale makes you think maybe he's in the wrong business and it shouldn't have been Kenny but him because he seems like he would fit. But in the end, due to the fact of Shelton Jean's help, he did win. Now the question is going to be, what are they going to do with Kenny and Shelton? This is going to be a big question. You got something with Stripper Kenny. You got something. Now, sorry, I'm going to keep doing that. You got something. But now you got to book it. Hopefully they can book him going forward. That will mean something with this Stripper Kenny big gimmick. I'm hoping. Now, the Ultimate X match on the main card. We have Kushida. We got Alan Angels. Jonathan Gresham. Kevin Knight. The one who can jump as high as Michael Jordan. And not only we get Mike Bailey, we also got Jake something as the last one in the damn match. I was surprised to see a Jake something back. I didn't think he wouldn't come back. I just didn't think he would come back so soon. Yeah, it's been like about a year and a couple of months. But I didn't think he'd come back for maybe 2 years. I thought he would go away for a while and come back. Be more interesting in other places. But he did come back. He was like the odd man out. Because of his size, because of his mass, everybody tried to get rid of him. But one of the major problems, when you got a guy that heavy, he's over 250, the rope that the Ultimate XX was holding for this #1 contendership, it started bowing. It just, he was so heavy. In the end, the person that won was Kushida. But the person I wanted, that I felt should have won, was Jonathan Gresham. Now, for me personally, the person that really seemed to be the most underutilized is Jonathan. I'm just saying it right now. Do I like seeing Jonathan? Yes, I like the octopus. Particularly when he came out. I think he vaped before he came out. And he was blowing smoke through his mask. I think that's what he did. I think he did vape. But the point here is this. Jonathan Gresham is an interesting person. He's a former ROH champion. He's the foundation. He can wrestle his ass off. He also can talk. And we get nothing really substantial from him other than that matchup that we had with him and Speedball Mike Bailey, which was great, but it's done. What are they doing with him? Nothing. And that's upsetting me. That's upsetting me. But I'm not going to lie, I didn't expect Kushida to win here. But he now has the #1 contendership. Not bad at all. Not bad. But the question is, how are they going to book this when you know the ending of the show? Well, everything there, you know what has happened if you watched it. I'm just wondering. Now, next match. This is the women's tag match. Let's make this very clear with the knockouts. I'm going to say this. The knockouts tag division here, yes, it's even smaller than WWE, but at least they got more interesting characters than WWE. To a certain extent, you got the Death Dolls who are interesting. You got the Coven. You got now. Let's make this clear. I said this a long time ago when it came to Marsha Slamovich. They had no idea what we're going to do with her. Eventually, after she went through the top stars and didn't get anywhere, she was going to be put with someone, and I figured it would be Killer Kelly. And I was right. And I also said 100% that you're going to see the most brutal matches between these two, and then eventually they may tag them up, which they did. The way they showed them tagged together, I knew that it would probably get over because of how they were treating one another. But here's the thing. I also knew their run had to start here. There was no way the Coven was going to win. If the Coven had won, this was just going to collapse. Within a few weeks to a month, you're going to see them break up and probably start fighting one another again. Or, worse yet, you would not see Marsha on TV, and then you would not see Killer Kelly on TV. Maybe BTI, but not on main Impact, in the Impact Zone. So they had to win. And they did. I was not surprised seeing them win. I had a feeling they were going to win. A lot of people wanted them to win, and they won. Now, mind you, is there a story behind it? I'm making it clear, no. There's no story with the feud because there is no feud. The Coven had no story with Marsha or Killer Kelly. Nothing. But due to the fact they brought Killer Kelly and Marsha together, which that was the story. You got two women who are very similar to each other. They both want to dominate. They both want to be destructive. Look what happened during the match. You got at one point that it was interesting. Once you see Taylor Wilde smacking her in the face, that Killer Kelly, she is loving it. She takes a smack. She goes like this. She walks over to her partner, enjoyed the smack to the face. They're both touching each other's faces, and they basically ripped the asses of the Coven. They beat the shit out of them. No problem. There's your story. But here's the major issue if they don't address it now. You now have two badasses in Marsha Slamovich and Killer Kelly. Killer Kelly likes getting on all fours and scaring people. Marsha likes to be right behind her, scaring people even more. You must give them fresh meat. Say it again. If you do not give these women someone to face, this is garbage. It's got to be more than the Death Dolls. It's got to be more than the Covering. It's got to be more than when you look at Gazelle Shaw. She doesn't have a tag team. Yes, you got muscle in a Savannah Evans, but she's not a tag teamer. Not anymore. They need more tag teams for the women's division. They need at least 2 or 3 more. They need 6 more women in a tag team. They need it. I'm just saying. Now, the match that I know for a fact that one person who talked about this, I can't remember your name, you know who you are when you talked about Eric Young. Now, I want to make this clear before I get started explaining this match. I saw your comment, I commented, I said clearly, there's no way he's going to be there if he's under contract with Vince McMahon. Now, you said, wouldn't it be cool if he's there? He's got to show up. He is on contract. He's still under contract. They just haven't shown him. Well, I checked. He's not working for WWE anymore. In fact, he left in April. He asked for his release in April. They quietly gave it to him. It's the reason why he's able to work now. Because they released him in April. As I said, there was no way Vince was going to let him work. They let him go. That is why he's back. Even if it's a one-off, he's not working for WWE. And that is so damn stupid. Why did he go back? He should have realized it was going to be bad when he went back. He went back in what? September or no, October or November. And he wasn't seen on TV. He was just sitting in the back like he was before. That's why he made the request to be released. That's why. In April, right around the time of WrestleMania, he requested to leave. And they gave it to him, and he had the 3-month clause where he can't do anything for 90 days. And look what happened. April, May, June, July. That's why he's able to wrestle right now, because the clause was done. They released him. He's here. Is he back? I don't know. Maybe he's back. Maybe he's not back. I don't know, but he's not working for WWE. So who made your comment down below, I can't remember your name. You know who you are. You were right. He came back, but you're not right. He's not working for WWE. Now, what do we get with Scott D'Amore and Eric Young, who is his partner, versus Bully Ray and Diener? The reason we got Diener, like I said, basically, I don't know what the injury was for Steve Maclin. It was a serious injury. I don't know what it is. I don't. So I can't really say what happened to him when he went to the Down Under tour. Whatever happened must have been serious enough that he just can't wrestle now. At least, hopefully not for a long period of time. Diener on Busted Open Radio begged Bully to let him have that match with him. That's the reason why it was set up. Now, we also had A1, and I've never seen A1 before because I didn't see Team Canada in its heyday. I didn't have the ability to see it because I had no cable, so I could never see Spike. As I've said, the only way I knew anything of TNA was some not Blu-ray DVDs, basic DVDs. That's the only way I knew about TNA, because I bought some DVDs of Genesis 2005 or 6, and another one, I can't remember the other one. But that's the only way I knew about TNA. So the match was good. You get to see Scott hug his mom and give her a kiss. And then you get to see the 48-year-old Scott D'Amore, who runs Can-Am wrestling school, that he can still wrestle. Was he great? No, but he can still wrestle. He can still go in the ring to a certain extent. And I commend him. He can do it. Seeing him against Bully Ray is what I'm looking for. Guys, if you're not looking for Bully Ray versus Scott D'Amore, fine. But for me, the only way that feud's going to end is Scott D'Amore versus Bully Ray, one-on-one. No one interfering. No Eric Young. No Diener. Just them. Now, seeing that Eric Young is now a face at this moment, it's going to be a big question what's going to happen now if he's back. If he's back. I don't know. Seeing them interact, Diener and how can I say the interaction was? Was it good? It was okay. But due to the fact that now the question is going to be, how are they going to book if Diener is still part of the design and Eric Young is back? How are they going to book this? It's going to be a very interesting situation. Of course, you know that Scott had to use his invention, the Canadian Destroyer, since he invented it. He used it on Bully Ray and whooped his ass. He won. Now, mind you, when it came to, I forgot how to pronounce this guy's name because he is an NHL legend. What is his name? McConney? I can't pronounce his name. I'm sorry, guys. I never really watched much hockey, so I don't really know anybody other than Wayne Gretzky. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry. Maybe one day I might get into it. If I know somebody, will teach me. But he was the enforcer, but also he became the ref because the ref got sick and tired of Bully Ray doing everything he could to DQ the match. He literally gave a straight-ass nut shot to Scott right in front of the ref. He didn't hide it. The ref said, you know what? Forget this. He walked away. And that is when Darren, I believe his name is Darren, he took over. And not only did he take over and let a lot go, he also helped Scott to beat the crap out of Bully Ray and put him through a table. That made it interesting. People liked it. But I gotta admit this, because one of the problems, like I said earlier, the audio was not that great. Because I think the audio was way lower than it should have been. Because once they started singing the Old Canada theme, I believe that's what it was, to try and psych up a Scott, it sounded way too low. Because you can see the people are chanting, but the audio is just so low. It didn't feel like they were even doing the damn thing. So that was a major problem that Impact still has a major problem with. As I said, production is still an issue with Impact. I don't know what the hell's going on. Is it because they're always going to another promotion? Because this is what I want to say before I move on to the exhibition match. Guys, you guys tell me below. What do you think is going on here? Is it because when Impact picks up and goes to a new city, in a new state, they don't take their main equipment with them? The cameramen, the editors for the production truck. What do you think? Do you think they are doing it? Or do you think they're getting cameramen sourced from nearby wrestling promotions? They ask, look, can we borrow your cameramen for a while? We don't have any. And they let them do it that way. Because if that's the deal, that is the most stupidest shit you can do. But then, if they're not, and they are using their own people, they need to retrain them, because this is an issue that will never leave them. And there'll always be a stigma on them that they can never, ever be top tier quality compared to AEW and WWE. Or even New Japan Pro Wrestling, which has almost no real big numbers. Look, New Japan's here, Impact is here, AEW's here, WWE's here. Look where they are at. They're here. And I'm not even saying New Japan is bad. They're not. Even though I haven't had a chance to really watch them, unless I stop watching something from AEW, WWE, I know New Japan got good video quality. Whenever I have had a chance to watch, they always make sure the camera's on point, the audio's on point, the lighting's on point, the people are talking, even though I can't understand Japanese. Whenever I've seen it, they were always on point. Even the ones who did English, they were on point. So Impact's got a bad stigma. I'm just saying. Now, excuse me. Lio Rush versus a Chris Sabin. There's no reason to even talk very long. Chris Sabin got his ass handed to him. Literally. He didn't even get a chance to wrestle. He basically got his ass kicked. And this is where I'm nervous. because they just let Leo run over him like he was nothing. When he's coming to the ring, Leo basically flipped, kicked him in the head. He did a handstand kick to the head. He falls down outside the ring. The refs are wondering if he's alright. But as they're about to go and check, Leo does a suicide dive torpedo, hits him practically in the head with his shoulder, right here, right to the face. He's stunned on the floor. The trainer's telling him, no, don't go. He shoves the trainer to the floor. He didn't even take his jacket off outside the ring. He's beginning to take it off in the ring. Leo shotgun drop kicks him. He basically does a midnight hour twice, and he wins within a minute and a half of him. Not even a minute and a half, barely about 45 seconds getting into ring. Maybe to a minute. I know people are not going to like this. And to be honest, I'm not too fond of a win like that. Particularly with Leo Rush. And I'm saying this again, and I want to make this clear. If anybody shows this to Leo, I want to make this clear. I got no problem with Leo. I don't. He's probably one of the nicest guys you can meet in real life. But as a professional wrestler, he has baggage. And I'm not taking anything from him. He's got to do what he's got to do. If he's watching this, I know you're going to do what you got to do. I'm not against you doing it. But for fans who are watching you, dude, my dude, you can't deny that it doesn't always sit well with wrestling fans, seeing that there's an attitude. And mind you, WWE, you had the right to act the way you did because they treat you like shit. But AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, New Japan Pro Strong, now Impact Wrestling, probably you also went for AAA. You went to MLW, you were middleweight champion, but unless you still are middleweight champion, I don't know if he is, or if you are, you've been jumping around a lot. And there have been reports that you have issues. So it's not that you're a bad guy, it just doesn't look good to fans. So how am I supposed to feel? As a guy who's doing a fair, honest review of you, I know you can wrestle, I know you can talk your ass off, and I know you got a good ability. But with all this, it makes you wonder, how long is he going to stay? Is there going to be an issue later? Is he gonna fuck this shit out? You guys tell me below. And not even against him either, but still, that's a lot of baggage. I'm just saying. Now, let's move on. Oh, my eyes are itching. I'm sorry, guys. The Fatal 4-Way for the Impact Tag Championships. You basically have Rich and Sammy. You got Subculture, who I actually do like, and I'll say something about them in a minute. Then you got Moose and Myers. Then you got ABC. Guys, I want to be honest here. I felt that either Moose and Myers or Rich and Sammy were going to win. It wasn't that I couldn't see that ABC retain, but to be honest, I felt like they've done all they can right now, and they could basically move on with it. I didn't expect Subculture to win at all. Unless if they did, that might mean they're going to stay. Because I've been wanting Subculture to stay. Look, Luna Moon, what's her name? Luna Moon, I think? She's interesting. Both of them are interesting. I want more tag teams there. And I felt that team was new and different. And I wanted them to stay. But the only way I thought they would stay is they have to win the damn titles. And they won the damn titles. But, dude, they won it. And it took the Rascals messing with ABC for them to win it. I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not going to let them win. I'm going, they let them win it. What the blue fuck? What the blue fuck? So far, we had the Digital Media Championship basically won by Kenny King. You got the Women's Tag Championship already won. Well, I'm saying women. The Knockouts Tag Championship has now been won. Then you have Leo Rush win the X Division. And now you got the Tag Champions winning. The thought that went through my mind when it came to Purrazzo versus Trinity, which, I want to say right now, This was the best match of the night for me personally. It was. It was a big question with Trinity. Because I did feel that Trinity would probably win here. I did. But then we had 4 turnovers. At this point, 4. The Digital Media Championship, the Knockouts Tag Championship, the X Division Championship. And I'm going like, wait, what? Wait. There's no way I'm missing another championship. I forgot which one it is. There was 4. I'm going like, wait. There's just no way they're going to let her win. Now, it could still go into an advantage because they can build her up going into, from Slammiversary into Bound for Glory. So if she's going to lose here, because we just had 4 freaking turnovers. 4. I'm like, they're going to probably let her job. But they're going to let her do the best job she can. She's going to make that the match of the night. That's Trinity working with Deonna Purrazzo. They worked their asses off in this match. It was a good-ass match. To me, it was the best match of the night. It was. This was the first best match of the night. And seeing Trin bust her ass was a great match. It was. I loved it. It was a match that I can easily say you can watch again. There's no way. There's no way you couldn't watch it. You got at the last part of that match, Trinity not only putting her her signature submission on, but knowing that she can't just, well, let me crank back. Trin's left arm was worked on by Purrazzo, so that was the focus of the entire match. Trin had to think creatively because she was not getting it done. The Venus de Mayo was a very strong possibility by Deonna Purrazzo. So what did she do? She decided to use her signature move and then twist the legs of Deonna on top of that and pretty much did what she does with the Venus de Mayo, but this time in Trinity's moves. And she tapped. Deonna Purrazzo tapped. For the first time, she tapped. That is an accomplishment. Deonna would not just tap for anybody. They wanted to make Trinity look good here. And since Trin did work her ass off in that match, it was great. Now, one thing I wish I could have seen, because I heard the report that Mercedes was there. I wish I could have saw her. I didn't. I might have missed it. But if she was shown, if you guys saw it, leave a comment below. But I didn't see Mercedes. But as far as I heard, she was there. She was. So, damn. Damn. That makes 5 titles that have now been turned over. 5. And I'm going like, are they really going to go there? Are they really going to go there with Nick and Alex Shelley? Well, before we do that, we still got one more match here. And that is Eddie Edwards and Kazarian. Yeah. Here's a problem I have. Tracy Brooks was the major problem for me. Because she did not feel important. She didn't feel substantial. Because as the match went on, and they're both Killer Kowalski guys, that's what the story was about. 2 Killer Kowalski guys that wanted to do the right thing in their own perspective. And they were great. They were the 3rd best match of the night for me personally. The 3rd best. Good story about Killer Kowalski. They both were trained by him. Both of them gone off in different directions. But both of them now come back together and trying to make sure the one who's the best Killer Kowalski guy gets over. And this was a great match. Look what happened at the end. You got Alicia basically cheating and pretty much... Once the ref was knocked out by Kaz, I knew there was going to be a screwy ending, and there was. Basically, Kendra was used, then Kenny was used, and then guess what? Eddie wins. Eddie wins. So, when it comes down to it, I don't believe the story's over. It's a decently good story. It's better than what we get in WWE, but the question is, will there be a stip in the next match they're going to have? I truly believe there has to be stipulation. That's just me. But you guys, leave a comment below. Tell me, do they need a stip or is the story over to you? Final match. The second best match of the night. Alex versus Nick. This is where it got a little confusing. Because Nick Aldis is supposed to be the heel and Alex Shelley is supposed to be the face. But Alex being the way he is, that he can turn dark on a dime even though he's supposed to be a good guy, didn't sit well with me. Because what did he do in the very beginning? When the announcements were done, he walks up to Nick and spits in his face a whole bunch of water and starts to fight that way. And I'm going like, is this what Alex Shelley would normally do? If he was in a corner that he was scared, yeah, he would do what he had to do to cheat or to distract, to do whatever he had to win. And at one point, he acted total heelish. He stuck 2 fingers into the where the ring is held together by the wiring, the steel cable, not wiring, and supposedly got the Nick Aldis hand all messed up that way. He even did joint manipulations like Pete Dunne going, breaking the fingers going. All the stuff he did, most of it was heelish. And that made the thing very confusing. I'm sure some people got a little confused. Like, am I supposed to cheer for Alex because he's acting more heelish in some cases than Nick? Am I supposed to start cheering Nick? He's supposed to be the bad guy here. This is where it gets a little confusing and convoluted. Was it a good match? Like I said, this is the second best match of the night. It was a very good match. In the end, Nick lost. He did. He also got his head busted open by the title. Tried to use it twice to try and get an advantage and even gave Alex a nut shot at least once. But in the end, he didn't win. He had a busted head a little bit and he basically tapped out. But here's where it comes in. The true story is starting. Because once it was over, guess who showed up? It was Josh Alexander. He's back. He basically just comes in, grabs a mic, and says only 2 words, I'm back. That's it. Now they're facing each other. That means we will be getting a rematch between the two. But now it's going to be pretty much Josh Alexander, who's the challenger, and Alex Shelley, who's the champion. This is going to be a very interesting situation. Do I believe this was a good show? Yeah. Do I believe they had flaws? Yeah. Because I wish Jonathan Gretchen won. When it came to, I don't even know how to feel that Subculture won. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm surprised they won. When it came to Leo Rush destroying Chris Sabin, it makes me nervous that even though they decided to put the damn title on him, does not mean things could go smoothly. And I'm not against Leo Rush. I still know that he's a smart guy who is capable of doing whatever he needs to get over and to be able to get what he wants. But it doesn't always sit well with fans. It doesn't. And I'm just saying it as a reviewer and a fan. But that's just me. And I hope you enjoy this. And if you're going to watch anything, watch the Trinity and the Deonna Purrazzo, the best match of the night. It was the best. One of the better matches I've ever seen from Trinity. And it was a very good match from Deonna. Peace.